The Epic of Gilgamesh also ties these mighty ones with many cultures. Gilgamesh, saying goodbye to his friend Enkidu, does so in 7 different languages in the epic, and it's nearly the oldest story ever known to the ancient world. He says in Latin, in Bengali, in Amharic, in Gaelic, Hebrew, Syrian, Syro. Translated, he says, "Hail and farewell, brother. Goodbye, brother. Farewell, sweet brother. Go fairly, old friend. Peace, peace, peace." Germanic peoples called their chief mighty one Woden. They also called him Baal or Gott, German for the sun even today, and God, Sanskrit for sun. God, the Hebrew Gad, also called Shamash, was the sun. The sun deity of the Egyptians is Amun-Ra, Phoenicians Baal, Romans Mithras, Sumerians Anu, are all the same. Today many people call Yahuwah by the name Baal, which means Lord, or Gad, God, which is the sun. Is the sun your mighty one? And it shall be in that day, declares Yahuwah, that you call me my husband, and no longer call me my Baal. Who try to make my people forget my name by their dreams, which everyone relates to his neighbor, as their fathers forgot my name for Baal. This word, it seems, gradually became a proper name. A similar Semitic word derives from the Aryan root Baal, which means to shine, according to some. According to W.H. Rogers, a well-known lexicon of mythology, Baal, Belos, was the ancestral and national deity of the Semites, and says that Baal was the founder of Babel, or Babylon, according to secular history. He is identified with Zeus, Jupiter, Ammon, Ashur, Kronos, and Bel-Marduk. Morris Jastrow, Max Mueller, W.H. Roscher, all 3 agree Baal is the Babylonian sun deity. The Baals of the nations were sun deities, and Baal worship means sun worship. And yes, even Christianity has its folklore to tie in. The Roman Catholic Saint Christopher. His best friend called him a giant, and son of Anubis, the dog-headed Egyptian god. Anubis is Bel, El, Anu, Ammon, Dagon, Kenu, Baal, Bela, Bacchus, Deus, Zeus, Jupiter, Ammon, Adon, Woden, Molech, Loki, Ilmatar, Ahura Mazd, Marduk, Mars, Caesars, Czars, Circe, and Persephone. They're all the same. Besides the history, archaeology has also shown Cyclopean and megalithic ruins can only be sufficiently explained by a mighty race. They call them Cyclopean ruins from the name of the giant Cyclops. Evolution cannot explain how a 20,000-pound rock was carried up a mountain in Sacsayhuaman in South America. How was Sacsayhuaman built by normal men? How did ancient Greeks able to build things like this? I think it's so grand that they even put it on their currency. Let's take a look at Stonehenge. This incredible monolith that was discovered in Kazakhstan in the 1800s. Now it supposedly cannot be found. The Circle of the Rephaim at Gilgal is bigger than Stonehenge and reported to be built by the Canaanite giants. How did the Egyptians build this at Abydos? Or Mount Elbon? Ollantaytambo. Why would they build these things? Teotihuacan. So many just accept evolution theory as fact. And we're supposed to also believe that ancient man was primitive, weak creatures right out of the trees of the jungle. Never agree how this was built. The outer blocks of the Great Pyramid are much smaller than the ones forming the roof of the king's chamber. Now look at this. A pyramid casing stone, 40 tons, and a trilithon block, 800 tons, at Baalbek, Lebanon. You see the man in this picture? These solid blocks of granite are much bigger. The trilithon blocks are many times larger and heavier than the pyramid stones. And we wonder how the pyramids were built. Baalbek from Phoenician means town of Baal. Heliopolis, the city of the sun to the Egyptians and Greeks. Baal god and various names to the Hebrews, and Uruk to the Sumerians. Remnants of many different ancient cults appear in Baalbek's stonework. The Hebrews called this place Gad, and was in the territory of the Israelite tribe of Dan. Some people think the six-pointed star is the Star of David, and a symbol of Judaism. Here at Baalbek is the same star, with a mother goddess deity in the middle, and a serpent wrapped around her. Many occults use this symbol, the hexagram. This was Aleister Crowley's Order of the Golden Dawn symbol. This symbol was not the sign of the House of David. Solomon introduced it through his occult practices. The symbol of Yisro, the House of David, and Messiah was an olive tree, represented by the seven-branched menorah. Even the ancient swastika can be found here at Baalbek. The temple complex of Baalbek stretches over a few million square feet, the most amazing constructions in the world. But how on earth could it be built by mankind? Could you really believe someone with a debilitating disease like acromegalia could move 4 mobile homes at once filled solid with granite? Maybe they used dinosaurs. Baalbek has giant walls and pillars. The only thing to successfully explain these megalithic ruins all over the world is to admit that 1. Ancient man was not primitive, and 2. Mighty ones existed to move the enormous blocks. Other things to consider: Gilgal-Rephaim, Gilgamesh, the mighty ones, and the town of Baal are all connected directly to the story of the Rephaim giants after the flood. Gilgamesh is mentioned as a giant in the Dead Sea Scrolls Book of Giants. Gilgamesh, recorded in nearly the oldest epic in history, the Epic of Gilgamesh, is Baal. And the Anti-Lebanon Mountains, where Baalbek was built, is the highest peak, known to the Hebrews as Mount Hermon or Armon. Mount Hermon is where Enoch says the angels descended to earth and bound themselves with curses to carry out their plan of breeding with mortals. Is it coincidence that Baalbek is within the borders of the Israelite tribe of Dan, and they just happen to also be the only ones with a complete copy of the Book of Enoch later in Ethiopia, where these Israelites were found living after nearly 2,500 years, ever since the exile? There's too much coincidence between all this, and it is only more proof of this race, proof of these mighty ones.